presentation, be sure to subscribe for the latest updates on new presentations and check out the blog at http://blogit.com. Computer security ethics and privacy. Today, many people rely on computers to do homework, work, and create or store useful information. Therefore, it is important for the information on the computer to be stored and kept properly. In this presentation, we're going to explore Trojans, viruses, and other malicious software and what you can do to protect your PC. It is also extremely important for people on computers to protect their computer from data loss, misuse, and abuse. For example, it is crucial for businesses to keep information they have secure so that hackers can't access the information. Home users also need to take means to make sure that their credit card numbers are secure when they are participating in online transactions. A computer security risk is any action that could cause loss of information, software data, processing incompatibilities, or cause damage to computer hardware. A lot of these are planned to do damage. An intentional breach in computer security is known as a computer crime, which is slightly different from a cybercrime. A cybercrime is known as an illegal act based on the internet and is one of the FBI's top priorities. There are several distinct categories for people that cause cybercrimes, and they are referenced as hackers, crackers, cyber terrorists, cyber extortionists, unethical employees, script kiddies, and corporate spies. The term hacker was originally known as a good word, but now it is a very negative view. A hacker is defined as someone who accesses a computer or a computer network unlawfully. They often claim that they do this to find leaks in the security of a network. The term cracker has never been associated with something positive, as this refers to someone who intentionally accesses a computer or computer network for evil reasons. It's basically an evil hacker. They access it with the intent of destroying or stealing information. Both crackers and hackers are still very advanced with computer network skills. A cyber terrorist is someone who uses a computer network or internet to destroy computers for political reasons. It's just like a regular terrorist attack because it requires highly skilled individuals, millions of dollars to implement, and years of planning. The term cyber extortionist is someone who uses emails as an offensive force. They would usually send a company a very threatening email stating that they will release some confidential information, exploit a security leak, or launch an attack that will harm a company's network. They will request a paid amount not to proceed, sort of like blackmailing in a sense. An unethical employee is an employee that illegally accesses their company's network for numerous reasons. One could be the money they can get from selling top secret information, or some may be bitter and want revenge. A script kiddie is someone who is like a cracker because they may have the intentions of doing harm, but they usually lack the technical skills. They're usually silly teenagers that use pre-written hacking and cracking programs. A corporate spy has extremely high computer and network skills and is hired to break into a specific computer or computer network to steal or delete data and information. Shady companies hire these types of people in a practice known as corporate espionage. They do this to gain an advantage over their competition, which is an illegal practice. Businesses and home users must do their best to protect or safeguard their computers from security risks. The next part of this article will give some pointers to help protect your computer. However, one must remember that there is no 100% guarantee way to protect your computer, so becoming more knowledgeable about them is a must during these days. When you transfer information over a network, it is a high security risk compared to information transmitted in a business network because the administrators usually take some extreme measures to help protect against security risks. Over the internet, there is no powerful administrator which makes the risk a lot higher. If you're not sure if a computer is vulnerable to computer risk, then you can always use some type of online security service, which is a website that checks your computer for email and internet vulnerabilities. The company will then give some pointers on how to correct these vulnerabilities. The Computer Emergency Response Team Coordination Center is a place that can do this. The typical network attacks that put computers at risk include viruses, worms, spoofing, Trojan horses, and denial of service attacks. A computer worm is a program that repeatedly copies itself and is very similar to a computer virus. However, the difference is that a virus needs to attach itself to an executable file and become part of it. A computer worm doesn't need to attach itself to a file. It seems to copy itself and spreads to other networks and eats up lots of bandwidth. A Trojan horse, which was named after the famous Greek myth and is used to describe a program that secretly hides and actually looks legitimate, like a legitimate program, but it's fake. A certain action usually triggers the Trojan horse, and unlike viruses and worms, they don't replicate themselves. Computer viruses, worms, and Trojan horses are all classified as malicious logic programs, which are just programs that deliberately harm computers. Although all these are common, there are many more variations, and it would be almost impossible to list them. You know when a computer is affected by a virus, worm, or Trojan horse if one or more of these acts happen. Screenshots of weird messages or pictures appear. You have less available memory than you expected. Music or sounds play randomly. Files get corrupted. Programs don't seem to work properly. Unknown files or programs randomly appear, and system properties fluctuate. Computer viruses, worms, and Trojan horses deliver their payload or instructions through 4 common ways. First, when an individual runs an infected program, so if you download a lot of things, you should always scan the files before executing, especially executable files. Second is when an individual runs an infected program. Third is when an individual bots a computer with an infected drive. So that's why it's important not to leave media files in your computer when you shut it down. Fourth is when it connects to an unprotected computer to a network. Today, a very common way that people get computer viruses, worms, or Trojan horses is when they open up an infected file through an email attachment. There are literally thousands of computer malicious logic programs, and new ones come out by the numbers daily. So that's why it's important to keep your virus protection programs up to date with new ones that come out each day. Many websites keep track of the new ones that come out. However, there is no known method for completely protecting a computer or computer network from viruses, worms, and Trojan horses. However, people can take several precautions to significantly reduce their chances of being infected by one of these malicious programs. Whenever you start a computer, you should have no removable media in the drives. This goes for CD, DVD, and floppy disks. When the computer starts up, it tries to execute a bot sector on the drives, and even if it's unsuccessful, any given variation on the bot sector can affect the computer's hard disk. If you must start the computer for a particular reason, such as hard disk fails and you're trying to reformat the drive, make sure that the disk you're using is not infected. Thanks so much for watching this presentation, and be sure to subscribe for the latest updates on new presentations. Please be sure to check out the blog at http://blogit.com.